And we are back with another great player. Vladimir, welcome.
Hi Alojzije, nice to meet you here in Rhodes for European Club Cup.
So you're resting today, also yesterday.
Yeah, but yesterday I flew from Georgia to here. It's worth to note that it's a bit complicated for many players who played now in European Team Chess Championship to manage their trips, because not from every location you can get to Rhodes in one step. So in my case, I just decided to stay a little bit more in Batumi, because between tournaments it's simply not enough time to travel back and forth.
Yeah, there you played like all decisive games, if I'm not mistaken, almost.
Yes. Yeah. 8 out of 9. Yeah.
Yeah, the year was in general, you won Superbet Grand Chess Tour Warsaw, right?
Yes.
Vaikanze was fine, Tata still.
Oh, yeah. But I had some, let's say, limited success in classical chess this year, and this big victory in Warsaw. Yeah, decent year after all, but I played less than last year, and now for most of the top chess players, year is only at the beginning, because we will have World Cup, and soon after this Rapid and Blitz World Championship, and those are the most important tournaments.
You will be free in the first round. Whom do you expect who are playing in the first round, whom you can be paired at World Cup?
So actually, I must admit that I even did not memorize my pairing since round 2. So round 1 I'm resting, obviously, because first 50 players are getting rest in round 1, and I yet to start any preparation for the rest of World Cup.
Okay, fair enough. Hungarian team, Nagy Kanizsa, Aqua Profit, Pavel was here yesterday. You have some mix of players, some players like young players like Samonenkov, but also Markus, experienced one, Gledura, eager to get back to maybe some winning streak. Pavel is experienced. So, interesting team.
Yeah, and if I'm not mistaken, we are 5th in the ranking, and obviously we can play a decent tournament here, but as usual, European Club Cups, anything can happen. On paper, some weaker teams can win event.
You can see, that you are correct. Yeah, you're 5th in there, which is you're close to top teams in terms of average rating.
Yeah, but not so close to Alkaloid and this Turkish amazing team. I assume it will be difficult to fight with them. And even Novibor and Superbet, they are still in their lineups is stronger, according to the ratings.
Let's go to the games. Let's check how they're doing. Time trouble is approaching. Let's see how Pavel is doing. Somehow I came have you checked the openings?
Yeah, I only this game maybe.
Okay, so it was Nimzo with Queen C2.
CD, Bishop G5, H6.
Quite a fashionable line.
Yes, and Bishop E6, Knight B7. This is one of the most solid. Yeah, it's extremely solid approach. I played it against Ivan Šarić at Grand Swiss 2023. I eventually won the game, but not because of the opening. Somewhere in the end game, in completely equal position, I managed to squeeze him.
Like in Bundesliga.
Yeah, almost the same scenario. Yeah, but it was lucky result for such. outcome of opening. So yeah, g5 knight e4. I'm not sure. I believe he was supposed to play like maybe rook c8 and then just bishop c5.
Okay, so he went for g5 knight e4, but somehow after a few moves I came and it looked like a normal for black, so something.
Yeah, maybe after all g5 is not a mistake at all, but it's just, in my opinion,
Maybe this was too tempting.
Not f takes g3. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think maybe this was the
completely not
moment where Pavel overestimated his chances, but I don't know.
So he took with
with
h4.
He took with f if I'm not-
He took with f. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Ni-
it's interesting decision, also playable. But h take g3 would be much more natural to my eye, and then just knight d4 and somewhere c4. If you open up the position with bishop against knight and this f5 square potentially.
These are the positions when you are very skillful.
All transpositions in control, it's usually slightly better for white in terms of playability, at least.
Yeah, I know that you are like very skillful in that kind of position.
Yeah, I played a lot of queen c2 Nimtsev in my career.
Okay, so it went f takes g3, knight c5,
knight d4, yes, queen e7, then rook a1, and everything for checkmate, think attack. So since bishop f3 now, maybe knight e4 he played. Yes, knight e4 he played.
Yeah, we got some info that maybe Pavel was playing this with black pieces, these kind of things with bishop e6 as well. So he's very, very familiar with.
Yeah, obviously it's one of the main lines against queen c2 Nimtsev Indian with black. This c5 bishop e6 is extremely solid. If I'm not mistaken, can Carson once chose this setup against Nakamura and worked rapid and blitz, and then he got comfortable play and maybe even won the game with black pieces, but I'm not sure. Maybe it's, after all, it was a draw, which is a usual result.
Yeah. You play very well with something and suddenly it's a draw.
Yeah.
So what happened here?
Knight e4, so he forced him to get a pleasant attacking position, but it's not so easy to break through here with white.
Yeah, what I think
So he played h4 here, I believe.
Or he doubled over the f file. I'm not sure.
Maybe h4 he began with.
He jumped on f5.
But after queen f6.
Yes.
So he jumped once again.
Took on b7.
Yes.
Queen came back.
Yeah, and then lots of exchanges because he couldn't find how to improve his knight on d6. Black rook get to d2. So I believe maybe this sequence of moves, knight f5, knight d6, was not correct in terms of fighting for something more than pleasant equal position. Yeah. Because even now there is still some danger for black because king is significantly weaker and this g5 can fall at any moment, but it looks
quite
extremely
safe.
drawish.
Yeah, quite safe for black, but it's possible to be wrong, right?
Yeah. At any moment it's possible to be wrong, but knight f5, knight d6 is not the most ambitious way to play for white, I believe.
So how can white win this game with some kind of scenario? What would be an ideal scenario? Attack on the king?
Okay, they can combine attack on the king and also this pawn on a7 can fall at some moment, and then maybe even some 3-on-2 rook ending with pawn on d4 could be winning potentially. So there is quite a lot of scenario where white can succeed, and now it's difficult to come up with a move for black. Like g takes h4 maybe is the principal way how to handle this position, but
He will probably take rook f4. Is not,
g takes h4 and maybe like king h8, I don't know. But still you need to show some creativity already. And on queen f4 maybe rook g8. This was my idea, that I can sort of pretend I do have some counterplay, but yeah, I'm not sure how big this counterplay is. But yeah, g takes h4 is the principal way how to handle this position, but you need to be a little bit brave to play such a move like g takes h4.
To open the king. But I think that we've both seen many times that black players, especially lower rated, lose this game. It's not that it's not...
Yeah, maybe for example he can play something like f6 directly, and then it's already like... I thought it's already like very, very bad. Still, engine pretended completely equal, because I thought like maybe rook b5, eventually some h5. So this move like f6, presumably I create enough weaknesses in black position, but still it's nothing for engine. Maybe like queen h7 and he is just hanging around here, pretending everything is fine. Amazing. So objectively white can't create many threats here, but we will see. In practical games I saw many times that underrated players lost in such position.
Yeah. Let's check the other games, but somehow I lost them.
So we won, Mamyarov won. I saw already we are leading 1-0, thankfully to Daniel Yufa victory.
Yeah, Yufa is very entertaining player. Actually, his last game win versus Banush in the European teams was really roller coaster. He was dead lost, but then managed to turn the tables.
Yeah, but also like if you will check his games, he's in extremely complicated and tense positions almost every time against every player, and sometimes he can jump from winning to losing in one game couple of times, and
very entertaining chess for
viewers.
Us, yes, but for him
it's very tough to play such as I can admit.
Benjamin was playing very, very strong at some point, but somehow he struggled recently.
You believe he lost the direction? I'm not seeing this, because now like rook f4 is massive.
No. I said in general. Let's say a year ago he was climbing towards 2700. Now he's a little bit stuck. This European teams was not going his way. But I think he's very stable, very good player. He can play solid, but he can also risk.
Yeah, I can only agree. I actually lost classical chess game to him in German Bundesliga last year, and he won quite convincingly. Obviously, I had some really poor openings in that game, but he still played well enough to never give me chances to fight back to the game. Almost never. And yeah, he's an impressive player, but nowadays, in my opinion, it's a lot of impressive players, and their ratings jumping between 2700 and 2600, and sometimes it's very hard to realize why they are going down or up. But many players are not stable enough nowadays to maintain their position in top 100. But one day you can play against them, and they are on their highest peak in year or year and a half, and rated like 2700. If you remember Martirosyan, he was rated
Yes.
2700 maybe a year ago,
2720,
and now
something
he
like that.
dropped to 2620.
Max Rothstein fell down to 2550, then he got a medal now at the European Individual. He's back to 2650. He was 2700. Why?
Yes,
I don't know.
And also, for example, Alexander Predke, who leads
Yes.
this impressive Serbian squad on all major events last years, he also jumped between 2700 and 2600 in recent times. So it's very hard nowadays to keep it up and to keep your rating to placed stable enough against a good competition. Yeah.
Your career high 2730, 40?
2742, I believe, and actually 2 times in this year Vaikanze.
Yeah, but you're still playing some open tournaments, which is not easy. Individuals, you're playing European.
Oh, but actually, since May of 2024, I didn't play in many open tournaments. That was part of my success, in my opinion. Because if I would play this competition in United Arab Emirates, who knows, maybe I would still stuck in somewhere close to 2700, or even I could it could end up really wrong for myself.
But when
this is my feeling.
When I recall your game versus
honestly.
Caruana, I think this is one of the best games I've seen. I don't know how to explain this, but for me it looks like really tough to win that kind of game in Vaikanze. So
because you need to calculate everything precise, but still it was limited amount of pieces on board, and and with limited amount of pieces on board, it's easier to calculate. Like it's easier to avoid mistakes in your calculation.
But not many people could do it. That's my feeling.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. But also Caruana himself, he had such victories in his practice when he was able to maintain his high level of calculation whole game, and eventually he cleans out somebody in at first something that was seemed like that equal ending.
Yeah, I suggest guys that you take a look of that game. So Caruana versus Vladimir was white.
Yeah, I played white.
For me, this is superb level. I know how hard is it to play that kind of chess.
In end games, especially.
So
because opening was not the highest quality. Even I understood after the game that I mixed, and eventually I lost a tempo in comparison to position I should have received after opening. That's why at the beginning of this endgame evaluation is equal, but engine even stays on black side, which is, in my opinion, is not objective from humans' point of view. And then he had maybe one little mistake on somewhere at move 25-26, and I get more pleasant in game for the first time. And then he maintained equality till move 41, where suddenly he made a quite big mistake that I was able to
exploit. To
exploit.
Just to come back to Pavel's game. So here we have current situation is similar. Hang on, let's update.
No,
so
I don't believe he played f6.
So this is now
similar
like you were proposing, basically the same. Instead of queen f4, queen is on c6. But you suggested this.
And now rook f6, only move is king h7, I believe.
So rook f6.
Or engine plays something wild here.
So king h7 you mentioned.
King h7 is not good already, because queen f3.
So is he coming with the queen to g3 or no?
But queen g3 you allow rook h6. It's quite brave.
King g7. I don't.
King g7, queen f6, king f8, or like queen.
Let's
this is how engine plays chess. Wow. No, but it's very, very hard to play like this as a human. So queen d6 check, here you need to evaluate that.
No, queen. Rook's endgame. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, but then rook g4, maybe it's just a draw. Anyway, to play like this is
it's tough.
Already challenging for black. so he need to find this sequence with queen g3.
Yeah.
Then it's quite big of a chance that white will succeed in this game. So rook f6.
Now Pavel is thinking.
Yeah, but what else?
Okay, is there any subtle move, some waiting move?
Like h5?
Yeah, or something, I don't know.
But then it creates another square for black on g5. Yeah, or even queen f3 is playable. So, but queen f3, queen g4, black is getting out.
Rook f6.
Rook f6 played. So now I expect him to go king h7 quite fast. Because like, okay, queen g3 is with 6 minutes on the clock. It's not easy to come up with such a decision. I would be extremely impressed if he plays now queen g3. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, we will find out quickly. Before waiting for that, let's just briefly check. So just to conclude this one, so it looks like a ideal position.
Yeah,
This
e4
X-ray.
you can break through any houses. Bishop on e6 is not getting to play. Really, knight on h4 is also not doing much.
Let's check Ihor. Hang on,
Ihor.
we have a move here. Queen h7. You were right. Yeah, this is some kind of psychology also, which you as a top player can understand. That people don't play engine moves with 2400.
But or especially such move like queen g3, so brave. You need to give up this h6 pawn with a check. Also give him queen f6 check. Such move is extremely difficult to find for any player. Even top players would take a lot of energy to come up with this queen g3 idea.
Why king h7 is now giving quite some small edge? What do you think?
Queen f3 first of all is possible. Other option is to give check on e4 first and go queen f3.
Okay, both moves are playable. Probably it's still not much.
It's still nothing almost, yes. But
Black's next move is what? a5?
I don't know, actually. Maybe again queen somewhere. Queen f8 maybe is possible. But queen f4 check, no, extremely dangerous. I don't know. Maybe king f1.
King f1 I wanted to suggest.
Practical.
I wanted to suggest king f1,
yes.
but
And just show me your next move. Yeah, this is a very, very practical approach.
Yeah, this is something which I know some club players, beginners, they don't have. That sometimes it's also important to figure it out what will your opponent do. So you should make a move.
Yeah, just your turn.
Yeah,
it's not my problems anymore to find.
And I'm not sure
some sequence of move here. Yeah, I don't know. But for example, h5 is.
Already
almost
probably
losing.
some queen f3 now and then
something,
double attack. Yeah.
But what else? Like, if you need to play like a5, it's.
Let me try.
Instead of h5.
Instead of h5. Sorry, let's try.
Also not a good move.
Not.
But what?
Not clear. Yeah.
But how black is supposed? Maybe not a5, not h5, but rook e8 is the way to.
Rook e8.
Yes. Yeah, this is the way to go.
Awesome.
Yeah, because now I'm threatening some rook e6, rook e3. My rook is suddenly active. You can't take on e8 because of queen f6. It's important variation. And on queen f3 I can play like rook takes e3 maybe.
Yeah. Queen f5.
If rook f3 is possible.
Queen f5.
Rook f3 is possible. Yes. Queen f5, king g8.
And I don't have anything.
It's all good. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
I'm extremely active, and it's getting closer
So
and closer to
White
the
is
draw.
thinking Queen e4
Yes,
was played.
but
he
he repeated
and then
once,
he
then
went.
he went to Queen f3, and it's not a good move because of Rook f8 somehow.
Okay, the game still goes on. I don't know which move
E4
is
maybe,
that.
E4, E5, E6. Maybe time to play just
Let's just
like
briefly
this.
check which move is that. So they have four
Move
more moves.
36,
Four
four,
more
four,
moves,
four
yeah.
more moves to go. Still some pressure on black, so some practical chances for Pavel. I wanted to check Vincent Keimer game
Okay,
briefly if he is
let's-
still if it's still ongoing.
Let's find Novi Bor. Yeah.
Because I saw yesterday you had Vincent in the studio.
Yes.
Yeah, and nowadays Vincent is doing extremely well. Almost every tournament we can see him.
What do you think? Where he has improved? In which direction? Now he's playing also some slow openings, not just like all the main lines.
But yeah, in general, we chess players believe his understanding is one of the best in the world. Also, working with Peter Leka maybe helped him a lot to understand chess on elite level. So here he understands competition quite well. Well prepared in openings, calculating very well, I would say.
Yeah, I have a feeling that this knight g3 which happened against Matthias Blugam, somehow it wouldn't happen in your game. So you have maybe sometimes control in that kind of positions. It was painful blunder. It was painful
It's
blunder.
hard to say. It's hard to say because in my recent games, my control over tactics was not as great as last year. Also, I had a lot of miss opportunities recently in games against strong opposition. For example, I had a massive miss opportunity against Richard Trappert this European Team Championship. I could make a draw in the ending, but also I made a lot of just human natural moves. And yeah, it's maybe still the hardest part in chess, and you need to train a lot more to be more stable in calculation. Because if you are not training well enough for your calculation part nowadays, then you will have all possible mistakes in your games. That's what I feel from my personal experience. That if you are taking breaks from such work, it's extremely dangerous. Nowadays, it's the biggest competition, and I can't see anyone on top level, maybe beside Gukesh, who is stable enough in his calculations. Maybe he's the most stable, and that's why he's also like our world champion nowadays, because he's quite stable in his calculation. And all other guys, okay, for example, we saw yesterday this wild game between Fabiano Caruana and Wesley So. Or it
was plus 14 or something like that.
But he had a lot of tactical miss opportunities during this game, and it's impressive. Guy like Fabiano it still takes a lot from him to find precise variation in winning position, and sometimes he can drop a extremely big advantage. And I saw he commented that it's just insane. He thought this game was over already, and finally he let him escape. And this is a usual scenario nowadays. I'm not seeing many players doing well in this calculation part of chess. So it's the toughest. Yeah.
What I like from Kaimer is that he's like this old style.
Old school, yeah.
How
Avoid
he's improving.
everything is protected, like only this rook on c4, but it doesn't need any protection. Every other pieces are protected. Massive advantage in space. Everything plays better. This ugly bishop on g7. He can play. He can enjoy his life here. He can play whatever.
That's just this game in
move.
terms of his steady improvement. That's like all classical way of improvement in the chess career, like step by step, step by step, step by step.
Yeah, very slowly, and he's getting better in every aspect of chess, in my opinion. And it's extremely impressive how he plays this year. For example, when I came to Waisenhaus this year to this big competition, it was one of the first freestyle competition. It was the first one this year, and also first one for myself at such level. And I couldn't expect him to do so good, but he was. He played his best chess against such competition and even managed to win. It's insanely impressive.
Trying to recall, I think that he kicked Magnus in semi-final and in final Naka or Fabiano. I'm not sure.
Somebody extremely strong.
Yeah, I think maybe even Naka. But in semi-final, I'm pretty sure that it was Magnus, and in finals, I would bet that it was Naka.
Yeah, likely it was Naka, not Fabio. But I already forgot myself.
Yeah, so here, as you said, it looks fantastic. Yeah, evaluation chart says that he's completely outplaying his opponent, but still, there is some job to be done.
Yeah, for example, here he can calculate very straightforward queen d6, e d6, knight d7 if he wants. And knight d7, bishop d7, e d7, d5, bishop b4. Bishop b4.
First, yeah.
Because bishop d5, knight d5.
Yeah.
And now like d4, bishop a5, and like this, I have this beautiful bishop d5 and rook c8. So this queen d6 is extremely straightforward way to deal with this position. I believe it was winning also.
He played bishop c1.
But now queen g3, okay, this ugly move g5, what we can say.
You know how I call this? I call this
extremely terrible.
You know how I call this bishop? I call this Sting's bishop, because there was a simul in New York City between Garry Kasparov and Singer was one of them, and then suddenly he's having, you can find this game, Kasparov, he's having a5, b6, c7 is having Sting, and bishop is locked on a7, white is having a5, b5, c6.
Yes.
And then bishop b8, bishop a7 all the time.
But do you find this impressive? Like bishop c1 is such a patient move in this position. He's not playing for immediate winnings at all. He's just showing, okay, your bishop on g7 is bad. Right. I will play bishop d2. I will play rook b1, then you will resign. I don't need this queen d6, knight d7 calculation. Why I need to calculate any variation? Like in my case, I would decide to calculate this queen d6, knight d7 for sure. I would invest some time. I would find it's winning, and then I would go for it, just because like this game can take another additional 40 minutes. And I'm a bit lazy already to play such a long runs, yeah. But he's nothing but lazy. Yeah. Bishop c1, queen g3, h. Maybe practically wise, it's even better way how to handle this position.
Yes, but
not
it's
not
tough
this
to resist.
direct queen d6.
You want to emphasize that it's very tough to resist, not to calculate directly.
But at some moments you want to do this. Okay, now maybe it's even better time to play knight d7. But anyway.
Okay, let's see what will he pick up now.
I would tend to calculate everything till the end, and just to be sure I'm not playing this game for another 1 hour. But gamer can win it anyhow, and we will see how he will convert. But I believe he will manage in the very next minutes.
Okay, I see
Other
some mess.
games?
Can we move?
Other games, maybe?
Well, let's move to Aravind, because here current situation is following. Is this some crazy time travel? What's going on here, or is it easy win for white? It doesn't look.
It's still awful position for black, but in comparison to what we saw with this lack of development at the beginning, it looks like a big improvement. I don't know what is your take on this position, but in my opinion, black has simply improved a lot in comparison to position they started with, because still this game is ongoing.
So is this a game where white can somehow end
Go
up in
wrong?
some, yeah, or
But even f takes c3, I assume it's enough to win the game, like f3, king f2. Any counterplay?
probably not.
Probably not.
Probably
yes.
not contemplate.
there's
So
a lot
probably
of-
taking to exploit something, but
Yes, but still, it's hard to believe, like queen d4 check, and for example on
king
but already big mistake. What I missed?
Probably.
No, not king h6, definitely. I missed something.
some
not
a5,
that.
something on e5, but I don't
I
see.
missed maybe knight e5, knight
Takes
e5.
and then no e2, something with e2.
Yeah, something with it.
No, this one?
Not at all. Maybe just king h6 is fine.
Yeah, I was thinking king h6. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. And on knight d3, so how you will punish myself?
Okay, this one is hanging. So rook e3.
But rook e3, rook g6 was my idea.
Mhm.
And maybe after you are able to punish myself. Yeah, just queen f7 here, queen
Okay, b6.
b6,
And what we are missing?
queen a2, queen e2,
Rook.
queen
no.
a2, queen d5. What we can do? No, not.
Okay, good enough.
This is good enough. Queen e2 and queen a3 or what? Queen a5? I don't know. I don't understand.
Probably not.
No,
this
queen
one.
a3 maybe.
Queen a3.
Yeah, good
Yes.
enough. But so my point is, you either give me queen c5 check and then I collect everything and go after your king, or you give me
cannot-
this
yeah, you
bishop
cannot-
on a6.
yeah, you
you
cannot
can't protect
protect-
both.
yes.
Yeah, so it's kind of double attack.
So
But
let's
it's very impressive how we came with all this.
g4. Okay.
G4. Yeah.
Interesting
These
way.
Indian guys, they are so tactically alert, and sometimes their concept are different level, in my opinion. The G4 is clearly shows some talent. Yeah.
Okay, he'll spend something like 2 minutes.
Anyway, in 2 minutes to come up with move like G4 would not be easy for myself, for example. G4 is impressive. Because he could have done many things, but he chooses G4. It's
So
yeah.
what should black?
my
Yeah,
eyes is
e2
not natural.
probably.
Rook e1 and maybe.
Then f3
That's it.
maybe, but yeah.
But also, like this pawn on G5 falls. B6 C7 is any moment I can do.
Rook e1. Yes, and
So
then
best try is f3 b6 rook f4.
No,
This is like kind of the last psychological attack. Yeah. And then after queen g5, I assume we just resign. Yeah. So this is maybe the best we can do. Because it's very hard to come up with any other
okay,
idea.
the clock is ticking.
Yeah, Aravind is winning here.
Bishop g4.
Yeah, b6, c7. b6, rook g6 actually. b6, queen b8, rook g6. So maybe his idea b6, knight h4, but then queen g5,
Yes,
everything
yes. I was
drops,
thinking this
yeah.
knight h4 stuff and then some tactics
Everything
b6
drops here.
just
yeah,
played.
yeah. So Aravind is...
So in the meantime, has something changed in Pavel's game?
winning here. Let's check Pavel's game. Yeah.
this is the current
Yeah,
state
he
of
did
affair.
not
They're
improve a
out
lot.
of time trouble. Yeah, it won't be.
So now the easiest way to get some kind of material advantage is rook b6, a b6, e6, I believe. Yes, rook b6, a b6, e6. And maybe I'm getting some material advantage, but
And
maybe not
getting
with
to
queen
this
f6.
queen's endgame 2 pawns, which is drawn. This
2 against 1, but
against
okay.
against zero, I think it's drawn. But
Even
yeah,
against
yes,
0 it's a draw,
but it's not so because of this stalemate stuff.
But it's not so simple
Yes,
for
exactly,
humans.
yes.
But I once defended this without pawns at age of 12, and it was extremely impressive back then because nobody knew this.
That is
This
draw.
was theoretical draw.
Yes, I
And
know
even I, during this game, I couldn't imagine. I didn't understand how I handled. But there was this stalemate ideas in the end. Some
Yeah.
queen f7, king on h8, and he could do nothing. And then this guy, I don't know, maybe you heard about him once. Garry Kasparov mentioned him as world's strongest first category player. Sergei Sorokin, he analyzed it like
somewhere
in depth.
it springs to mind. Yeah.
Yeah, and shared with local chess communities that this is a draw. So it became familiar after my game, I believe. I was 2100. It was one of the first my rated tournaments, and I defended against some a little bit older but still promising enough player. Yeah.
Okay, the smoke has cleared. Basically, top players are winning their games. I think, Vladimir, that we will finish our broadcast. Thanks for joining. We will try again for that interview with Teodora Injac and our dear Lena Govedarica. So let's see that interview. Once again, thanks for joining. And of course, if you feel free just to come anytime if you play some good game and you are eager to show it.
Yeah, I hope I will play some good games here, but anything can happen. We will see. So see you in this case, and it was a pleasure to work with you for this round 2 broadcast European Club Cup.
Thanks, Vladimir.